Hey, this is Florian, Online Tennis Instruction. Today I want to talk to you about whether or not you should hit open stance forehands. I've done a lot of video reviews in recent months, and I keep seeing students that hit almost every single shot with a fully open stance, which is a major problem in my opinion. Right here you see my student Lawrence, who recently came to visit me in Munich, Germany, and he actually has a really nice swing path on his forehand. He does a lot of things well with his arm, but he did hit almost every single shot with a fully open stance, and that created a lot of problems on his forehand. Let's take a look at a slow motion here. So Lawrence is dealing with a relatively easy ball around the middle of the court, and he decides to set up in a fully open stance, which we can see right here. If we draw a line here, we see that his feet are parallel to the baseline at this point, and that's what I consider a fully open stance. Now this stance makes it very difficult to swing through the ball to hit a deep shot, and it results in a lot of upper body rotation. Instead, Lawrence could have used a semi-open stance, which would look approximately like this, where the left foot would be further in front, and as a result he would be able to drive through the ball more, and in fact the semi-open stance is the stance that the pro players use most often. On this kind of a shot around the middle of the court where the ball is not bouncing very high, Lawrence could have also used a neutral stance where he could have stepped forward with the left foot completely. You'll see somebody like Roger Federer, for example, use this stance quite often. He will step into the ball around the middle of the court and generally against lower bouncing shots. So in the lesson we started working on using more of a neutral stance as well as a semi-open stance. Right here you can see a neutral stance forehand. This is a very similar ball around the middle of the court, bouncing at medium height, and he can hit the ball really well here with a neutral stance. Here's another neutral stance forehand. This ball was a bit shorter, and now let's take a look at this. A higher bouncing ball, a little bit to the outside. This is where he has to be a little bit more open with his stance. Take a close look at his feet right now. Here he is fully open with his feet parallel to the baseline, but now he steps a little bit forward into more of a semi-open stance. This is a small and yet very significant difference that resulted in Lawrence hitting much better shots against these high balls. It allows him to swing through the ball more. His body does not rotate as much, and his racket does not travel over to the left side of his body too early. Right here we will see another semi-open stance forehand, again against a higher bouncing ball around the middle of the court, and he does manage to get that left foot a little bit more forward, which allows him to hit a much better shot here. So make sure you check the stance on your own forehand and you don't fall into this trap of trying to hit everything with a fully open stance just because somebody told you that the pros hit with an open stance. Instead, you want to be able to use the right stance at the right time, which is something that I cover inside my Forehand Blueprint video course. Thank you for watching this video. To watch all of our free videos, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel below.